Hey everyone, welcome back to String, Cheese, and Applesauce, where today we're going to review the Lego City Bulldozer. This is set number 60074, 384 pieces and 2 minifigures. Let's look at the minifigures now. Our first minifigure is the female construction worker, and really the only two things that make this minifigure appear to be female is the fact that the lips on the face have lipstick, there's long eyelashes, and the headpiece is the long hair underneath the safety helmet that's kind of pulled in a ponytail. If it wasn't for that, the legs and the torso can be interchanged with really any head and a hairpiece. So there's nothing on this portion that make it look like a female. But looking at the torso, it's a very nice print. You've got a couple zippered pockets, you've got a utility belt, you have a sweater, like a hoodie type sweater underneath the work jacket, and then when you turn around on the back, you can actually see, especially when you remove the head, that there's an actual hoodie back behind there, and then a little walkie-talkie in the back pocket of the utility belt. And then you can see clearly the long eyelashes and lipstick around the eyes and the mouth. So that is our first one, the female construction worker. Let's look at the second and final figure now. So our second figure is the male construction worker, and he is the driver of the bulldozer. So he has his ear protection on because the bulldozer is pretty loud, so he's going to protect his ears. He's also got a hard hat on, so safety first there. And he's also working really hard. It's hot, long days in the construction site, so he's sweating, kind of has a serious look on his face. The pants are just kind of a sand blue color, and we have this cool printed little work utility belt with a harness around his shoulders, and then a blue shirt underneath all of that. A little bit of printing on the back. You can see that same little utility belt going across, and then the straps for that little harness that's around the front there. Those are our two minifigures. Pretty basic, but nice and detail printed minifigures. So let's go ahead and look at the bulldozer now. So don't forget that we did a build of this set, and you could see it on the Hidden Brick channel. There's a link in the description below. Don't forget to check that out. Subscribe to that channel if you want to check out how we build all these sets. So let's go ahead and look at the bulldozer. So we have, I guess there's a little bit of accessories that go with it. You have this little warning sign, so it's basically warning people, hey, this is a construction site and there's demolition going on, so be careful. We have a couple sticks of dynamite. I guess they're bundles of dynamite with some detonators or timers on there. So those are just little accessory pieces. We have some construction rubble that the bulldozer can push around. A wheelbarrow with a little jackhammer in there, and this little building that's being demolished. So the female construction worker has this enormous sledgehammer. I think if they would have put a normal size brown bar on there, it probably would have been a little bit more realistic in scale. But it's, you can see it's taller than she is. It's like, really, who has a sledgehammer that's over 6 feet tall? So that's the little accessory that she carries around. And then the building that gets demolished, it's a interesting little build because it's kind of partial building. Most of it's already been demolished already, and then they're basically broken up into 3 little segments, and they're just connected similar to the way modular buildings, like the levels, connect. Just like 1 or 2 little studs that hold each piece on, so they're easily destructible. You see, just barely touching them, they fall apart. So those are the little accessory pieces that come with the set. So So now that we've got that over with, we can look at the main model. So first impressions are, this thing is easily recognizable what it is. It's clearly a bulldozer. They pulled off the design, I think, perfectly. There's no mistaking what this is. I really don't know how they may have made it any better. The only thing they probably could have done is this little grating fork back here. Sometimes those are actually a little bit wider, almost as wide as the bulldozer itself. So if they would have made that a little bit bigger, it does look a little bit out of proportion. It's pretty small. But some of the details we have around here is obviously the tank treads. We have some lights on the front. You've got the little smokestack here. You have the engine cover with little exhaust grills there. There's also a grill right here on the front. We have the area that the bulldozer operator can get into the cab right up here. So it's kind of like little steps. They can step up in there. There's some lights on the top, and then another little spotlight here on the back. There were a few stickers, and I think they really help. So there's a little warning stickers back here. This hood exhaust vent type thing was a sticker, and then the numbers on the side were stickers. That was really it as far as the stickers. So the way this thing works, as you can see as I push it, the treads are moving, but the treads are really not moving based on them touching the ground, because if I turn it over, you can see there's these rubber wheels that are attached to the center axle of one of these gears in here that's holding these tank treads. So when you turn that rubber wheel, you can see it actually turns the tank treads. So these are what's actually touching the table or the ground, and not the tank treads. It's real close. I don't know if I can really demonstrate it too well. It's hard to see, but these are what's moving the treads. So that's kind of the first thing, and then this front scoop, you can see it just kind of moves up and down ever so. I mean, when you're pushing stuff, when do you ever really have this thing raised up this high? So it's kind of weird that it goes that high. In reality, it should only go maybe like that high, but it goes all the way up like that. So the range of motion is weird, and I don't know how you could have really stopped it, other than maybe putting a little Technic pin coming out over here, that when this rose up to a certain point, it hit it. But it is what it is. That's the way it travels. So that's kind of unrealistic. And then you can see when I was showing you earlier, this little smokestack thing popped off. So these two things are just, they're not right like on a stud. I guess if it's on the stud, it helps a little bit better, but maybe I'll just leave it there. They have it in the instructions to go in between those 4 studs, and it actually comes out pretty easily. I'm going to move it over to an actual stud. And like I said, this piece back here, I mean, it goes up and down slightly, but it still doesn't even touch the table. So it's kind of almost an afterthought. It's out of proportion, and it doesn't touch anything, so it really can't work the way it's supposed to. And I mean, I know it's a toy, you're supposed to use your imagination, but I think it'd have been a little bit better if it actually could drag something along. So the cockpit is pretty simple. You see, you just take off the windshields there. There's a single seat with a couple levers to control the bulldozer. It's nothing too fancy. You don't really need anything too fancy. I was surprised that the set didn't come with a standard issue Lego City red coffee mug. It seems like almost every city vehicle comes with a coffee mug that you leave in the cab of the vehicle, but this one didn't, so no big deal. So that is it. I think it's good. I mean, like I said, the design is perfect as far as aesthetics. It looks great. I feel there's not a lot of playability with it, especially with this thing kind of being all goofy and flying up like that. Really, the bulk of the playability is you just push things, you know. And even the destruction side of it, you just kind of push things over. So yeah, that's really about it. It's really just something that just moves things around. So if you like just to push things around, I think it's okay. It's probably not going to be as fun as like a backhoe or some sort of excavator that you can dig and move things and do other stuff with. So there may be some issues with playability. Other than that, I think it's great little set. It'd be great for any Lego City construction site. So hey, give me your thoughts on this. Do you agree with my take and or review of this? Let me know your thoughts. Put a comment down below. Don't forget to check out the build on the Hidden Brick channel. The link is below, and we will see you next time.